For the people of Abarkooh, creating handicraft isn't something commercial. In fact, it's quite the opposite. In Abarkooh, handicraft are tangible expressions of their way of life. Each element of handicraft is of itself a part of the people of Abarkooh's creativity and world of fantasy and imagination that's recreating a unique and unrepeatable story. The hands and mind of the women of Abarkooh are the real tools that allow this town to have a variety of handicraft. In the past, sofra pambei, a fabric made from cotton, was one of the important traditional hand-woven cloths offered as part of the bride's dowry. The mother of the bride would weave it and would gift it to the bride and groom during a special ceremony where the groom's family would also bring the bride's mother gifts. Sofra khamir, or sofra pambei, is made with pure cotton. The delicate and geometric designs, along with the needlework, have turned this art into one intertwined with a lot of effort.
این اثر من میتونم بگم حدود 50 سال پیش دیگه از بین رفته بود. هیچ مربی نداشت متاسفانه. خیلی سخت بود احیای اثر. با تلاش شبانه روزی که انجام دادم حدود 1 ماه و یکی از اون نسخه های قدیمیشو که داشتم، یعنی یکی از اون سفره‌های قدیمی که من داشتم، اون حدوداً 80-90 سال قدمت داره، تونستم با شکافتنش یا اون مهندسی معکوس با چندین بافت اشتباه تا اینکه به بافت درست رسیدم.
The many different varieties of Iranian textiles point to the country's cultural diversity. The different colors, tools, the many textures and sewing techniques differ from one city to the next. For example, while in some Iranian cities the use of a lot of colors and more condensed patterns are common, as you can see here, the simplicity and beauty of the mini-woven braids are what catch the attention. Chante is the old version of today's gift bag. Chantes were woven with silk threads, different sized needles and a cylindrical piece of wood. A small chante has about 9,000 knots and can take up to several days to weave. Abarkooh's traditional dishes are also as colorful and diverse as its handicraft, and I recommend 2 of them for you to enjoy whenever you pay a visit to Abarkooh. There are recipes that have been forgotten and are never prepared in today's modern kitchens. Dishes that our ancestors used to prepare and eat, but the younger generations don't even know about them. Motangine is one of them, a stew-like dish that's quite healthy and rich in vitamins and is made with dried apricots, lamb, walnuts, chickpeas and tomato paste. Motangine is a word that literally means that this stew is a stew filled with meat. Rizdar Turosh is another one of Abarkooh's traditional stews that's prepared using green apricots, meat and split peas. The mixture becomes a perfect blend at the end with a rather pleasant sour taste. In Iran, meal times aren't simply prefixed hours during which you satisfy your hunger and rest. They act as one of the elements that gather family members together. They are a time of pleasant conversations and sometimes heated family discussions. And what can make them more pleasurable and nostalgic at times is the presence of a grandmother's home-cooked and colourful dish.
It shined like a diamond on the Silk Road, a gateway to paradise, an important trade hub where goods and commodities were brought from the farthest places on earth. For centuries, Qazvin was of great importance to many dynasties that replaced one another through the ages, each one leaving behind parts of their culture and traditions that shape the identity of this city and its people today.
Qazvin city is currently the center of Qazvin province. It was initially built by the Sassanid king Shapur I about 250 AD as Shahpur Shad, or the happiness of Shapur. Caravans from the Silk Road delivered luxury goods like raw silk from China and jewels, aromas, and spices from India to the city. In the 7th century, the early Muslim times, the city flourished as a base for Islamization. Qazvin was ruined by Genghis Khan, the Mongol conqueror, but it was revived under the Safavids when Shah Tahmasp I moved the capital from Tabriz to this city.
Qazvin was once the capital of Iran for 53 years, and this magnificent structure behind me is called Abarkooh, or the Supreme Door. Today it's the only remaining entrance gate out of a total of 7 gates that once led to the royal fortress of Shah Tahmasp I, the Safavid monarch who lived in the city some 450 years ago.
Iran's first official street, called Sepah, registered in 1928, leads to the Abarkooh Gate. Projecting an image that strongly relied on beliefs in Shia Islam and noble Persian identity was what the Safavids valued most, and such an approach was clearly evident in their architecture. Qazvin is like a museum that narrates the story of one of Iran's most important cities throughout history. In my visit to this remarkable city, I decided to visit a place where once many social interactions took place.
Back in the old days in Iran, bathing was not just a way of cleanliness and personal hygiene. In fact, it required its own traditions and, of course, its own unique architecture. This is the Qajar bathhouse, situated in the old district of Qazvin city. But unlike its name, the place was not built during the Qajar dynasty. In fact, it was built way back during the Safavid era. Back then, it was called Hammam-e-Shah, or the King's Bath. Today, the place also serves as the Anthropology Museum of Qazvin city.
توی حمام ها ممکن بوده مدت ها همدیگر ملاقات نکرده باشن افراد و اینجا همدیگر رو ببینن و همینطور ممکن بوده از حمام برای حالا مراسمات خاصی استفاده بکنن. ولی اگر افراد خاص درباریان یا حالا حکمران قزوین می‌خواست از حمام استفاده بکنه، حمام رو براش قرق می‌کردن. یعنی کاملا حمام تعطیل می‌شده و فقط این شخص و یا همراهانش از حمام استفاده می‌کردن.
This bath was still operational until 1993. After years of restoration, it turned into the city's anthropology museum. Persian baths were comprised of 3 main sections. First, it was the locker area with a small pool in the middle. Second was the middle hall, where the air and temperature changed to adapt bathers with the climate. And finally, the pool house, where washing took place along with both cold and hot water pools. One of the things that Qazvin prides itself on is its elite. This city has been the home or birthplace of many prominent Iranian figures throughout history.
When it comes to museums, the first things that may come to mind are historical or mythical relics, or even works of art. But there is one museum which is exceptionally different, because the items that it displays are gifts given to one man during his professional career, both as a scientist and a politician. Items which he later on dedicated to the people of his city, in Qazvin.
Professor Ali Akbar Salehi is currently head of the Atomic Energy Organization of Iran. He holds a PhD in nuclear engineering from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT. His museum displays valuable items that were given to him in many countries by prominent political, cultural, and scientific figures and institutions.
ساختمان موزه که یکی از بناهای تاریخی شهر قزوین هستش و شاید 80 الی 90 سال قدمت داشته باشه. زمانی که آقای دکتر صالحی ریاست انرژی اتمی رو داشتن و طی سفرهایی که با آقای دکتر ظریف سفر داشتن به وین، موافقتی صورت میگیره که هدایایی که آقای دکتر صالحی طی مدت وزارتشون در وزارت خارجه دریافت کرده بودن همه رو به صورت موزه در شهر قزوین که زادگاه پدر و مادر آقای دکتر صالحی هست به صورت نمادین گذاشته بشه.
Today, Qazvin, Iran's diamond on the Silk Road, continues to shine as one of the country's most vibrant cities. It is still a major hub for trade and industry, a city with great historical attractions. Amir Mehdi Kazemi for Iran.